All right. Welcome to another episode of my self-improvement survival series. Since my last video, I have been doing a little bit too much off-camera work, so I'm gonna go over what I've done, and then I'll start talking about future projects that I have in mind, and some things that need to be done this episode. It's just a bunch of things that'll just improve the quality of life for my series. So let's get started. So first things first, I moved my chests out of my house. Um, it is kind of inconvenient when enchanting, so I just put another chest here for whatever. This structure is kind of just floating here. My original plan for this was to make it like a big ol' hut looking thing, something made out of the bamboo here. Then I started adding in tough for the border of it. Then I got to thinking, maybe I should try and do something different, something a little unique. So I have a couple ideas bouncing around. Either one, I put a bunch of like support pillars down underneath here, you know, so it's not a floating structure. Or I could get maybe about like 4 to 8 gas and just like attach them to leads on top of the building in all four corners. I think that would be fantastic. Also, going into here, I made a little smelting area right over here. I moved all of my items over here, organized them a little bit. We got our log types, we got our wood variations, overworld stone, dirt, grass, and we got nether, which I'll probably slim down this eventually. Building blocks, it's just whatever, you know. We got our plants, we got our mob drops. I also did find one of those dungeons for the first time. I wish I was recording when I was doing it. Um but yeah, it did happen. I didn't get a mace. So I'll have to find another one. And we got our miscellaneous, our food, which pretty lackluster, and then valuables. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I also got rid of all of the villager homes that were on along this pathway right here, because I plan on extending this building out to over here. So it's gonna be like some stairs that'll probably reach out to here, and I'll probably start putting some other buildings along this side. That's pretty good. And the other side, I'm not sure where I want or what I want to do over here. Go get the snowball. Get the snowball. Come get the snowball. Hey, hey, buddy. Hey, come here. Get the snowball. What? Okay. This gas just doesn't want a snowball, I guess. Yeah, I made this little docking bay for my ghast here. I put like 2 trapdoors so it kind of like locks it in place. And yeah, if I ever want to fly away on this ghast, I just hop on, open up this, and then lift off. And it's super easy. Let's get back down there though. There we go. And it's kind of nice because the gas just acts as like another part of the floor, unless you try and do that. But it is also easy access down here. I am planning on trying to rework this floor design a bit so that if I do fall down into here, I don't hurt myself. All right. So, first thing I want to get to is making an automatic sugarcane and an automatic bamboo farm. Now, is going to require a little bit of resources, but it is absolutely necessary. I need paper for trades, and I need bamboo to finish my project. And waiting for them to grow and picking it all up manually is just not my cup of tea. I'm just not that big of a fan. So let's just go ahead and make something to automate it. Alright, well that didn't take too long. But now comes the fun part. I need to automate sugarcane and bamboo. And luckily they have the same growth mechanic. So that means I can simply just copy paste one farm to the next. So before I get carried away and making all of the all of the materials I need, I need to map out where I want this thing. So I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is chop down these trees. Alright, now that I've chopped down these trees, I'm gonna see about putting it in this area right here. Alright, so this is the farm. This is it. All I have to do is put like a water, like running water on one of the sides, and I can just put sugarcane there. And if I don't feel like growing uh, one of them, I can just, you know, fill both sides with sugarcane or both sides with bamboo, and it'll just work. In fact, I can easily just duplicate this next to it or over here and just do the same thing. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that, and then I'll be back. All right. So I took a little bit of time to make this farm. Honestly, it didn't take too long. But yeah, this is it. This is it's in all its glory. So I did realize an issue with making the farm like this and trying to utilize this mud to pick up all the items. It was good practice in theory. However, all of the items from this block up would just get stuck right here on the sides. So, easy fix to that issue is just put minecart rails on each side. And it works out perfectly. There's zero flaws, zero wasted items, and it is small, pretty compact. The only reason why it's way up here is just for the added storage, I guess. But yeah, this farm can be used for bamboo, sugarcane, um, and if you want, you could you could flip this redstone mechanism for like glowberries or something like that. I don't know what else hangs from the ceiling that you can farm like that, but yeah, if you wanted to automate glowberries, I'm pretty sure you can just copy this design, just flip it. Now I want to move on to this. All right, I'm back, and these are the stairs that I made. That's the kind of build style that I want. It's a lot of texturing, a lot of other things like this is kind of looking a bit transparent compared to the rest, but The reason why is because I want it to look like those rotted floorboards that you see in like wooden staircases or bridges or stuff like that. And that's kind of why I wanted to incorporate the mangrove roots in this build. And after I built this, I kind of just AFK'd for about, how long was it? 2 hours, I want to say. It seems like we're getting a lot of bamboo, but it doesn't look like any of the sugarcane broke yet. And the reason why is because sugarcane only grows to a height of 3. Like, nothing's different. Legit, nothing is different besides that. Oh yeah, that was something that I didn't think about, but I'm glad I caught it. Ooh. All right. Hold on. Okay. So this is looking pretty neat. Pretty neat indeed. I wasn't really going to go for like like a tree in the design, but then I realized if I was going to add like a bunch of leaves to it, might as well add some logs. And yeah, putting one of these pale trees in there kind of it looks pretty cool. I think one thing that I could stretch out uh could work on a little bit is I could potentially just make these corners into giant pale trees. Hmm? I think that would be pretty sick. So instead of like support pillars for these trees, they're just 4 giant pale trees just holding it up. Now, of course, this will also uh, stress my ability to make a custom tree, but you gotta start somewhere, right? But yeah, I think if I put a bunch of the pale logs just like surrounding this corner, so probably about like from here all the way to, oh boy, from there to all the way here. So they're not all that wide around, especially for the scale that I want this thing at. But it could look pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly indeed. Now, of course, I'm gonna continue terraforming all of the dirt into this area so it's not abrupt looking like that. But yeah, I'll exercise this idea another time. Yep. Oh yeah. Pushing these walls back makes it look so much better. Way less vibrant green like the inside of these walls are looking. Yeah, this is gonna be real nice. Real nice to decorate. So yeah, I guess I'll get back to it.
So, DIY kits, knife making guide. We can make our own folding knives? This is gonna end well.
Alright. Okay, so the tree's looking a bit goofy, right? It's looking a bit wonky, right? But I am gonna add a ton of leaves eventually. And I will be replacing a lot of these with other versions of the log and add in a couple of extra things too. Like what would actually look good here? Would a cobblestone wall look good with this tree? Maybe not cobblestone. Yeah, but I'll I'll keep expanding. Actually, cobblestone didn't look too bad. Yeah, do this and then extend down to like a um maybe a spruce perhaps. Ouch. No, no. Ew. Ew, no, that was bad. Alright. Yeah, I think the cobblestone walls look the best so far. I don't know. I'll continue working, like hashing out that idea. How does a tough wall look with this? Oh, 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 oh my. I mean, the texture is kind of just like going horizontally while this is like a vertical texture. So maybe, maybe not. But, I guess we'll just have to see. I I like it a lot more than cobblestone though. I think ooh, in combination with cobblestone though, I mean, what the this freaking crazy, dude. All right. Big reveal. I'm kind of anxious on how people react to this. I mean, if there's any pointers that someone wants to give me, I'm all ears because trees are kind of just like the most difficult thing to work with. And that also makes me realize I have to make 3 more of these things. So, without further ado, let's turn around and see it. Ooh. It actually doesn't look that bad. I mean, I wasn't planning on nightfall to happen as soon as I turned around, but it looks pretty crazy. I'll probably put like some like trickling branches hanging off from the top. But yeah, it's like really cool. So I went from like, so I started off with like a super simple base, and then I realized, huh, tough kind of looks really good with this block. So I started like capping off all of the tops of these logs, and then I started incorporating stairs, and the stairs kind of just like tell us, oh yeah, it's the rest of the tree is going to be moving forward this way. So a lot of times wherever there's stairs, that's where I added more folds to the tree and just like increased its general base size. Ooh, some free logs. Thank you, log god. Oh, there's still scaffolding here. Such a shame. I had a really good reveal and there's still scaffolding on the build. Nothing but amateur hour over here, I tell you what. Yeah. Alright, so just get on over here again. But yeah, I decided that with the tree, I wanted to, you know, I wanted to go from the log type, the pale logs, to the tough, and then I started playing around with tough going into the cobblestone, which is adding a pretty nice gradient. Like, you don't really notice it until you're like up close. It's it's kind of nice. Here, let's see what it looks like during the daytime. Yeah. Ooh, okay, okay. So, I do want to say this. Um, it still looks really good. Now, I I wanted to do a little something something here, kind of like uh I don't know how to describe it, but I wanted to sort of like put a bunch of like moss and vines over here, and also like replace some of these logs with moss blocks right here, just to just to tell you, the tree's been here for quite some time, right? But it hasn't quite moved over to this side. Eh, yeah, I mean, you know, I could start incorporating some more greenery, as in bringing in more vines, and other stuff like that. But I think, I think viewing from the outside, this plain look to the tree looks really good. And then if you're like walking around in here doing whatever, this little area kind of looks it looks pretty neat, pretty neat. But yeah, it's really cool, and I'm gonna have to farm a ton of these trees if I want to start working on the other stuff. But I think that's a good place to stop this episode. I made a little farm, which I've been here for about 3 hours. Not a whole lot of sugarcane. Not a whole lot of sugarcane. It's not quite as fast as bamboo. Not as fast. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with all the progress that I made. Going from that little automatic farm to this dilapidated staircase to making this pretty grand tree. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this one. Uh, this was really cool. Being especially being my first time making a custom tree. Now I was gonna add a bunch of leaves to it, but I I'm starting to realize that the sort of dead tree looks really cool. Now, I'll probably sprinkle out some leaves up at the top just to signify that there's like smaller branches up there. Um, but other than that, this is a really good first tree. And I think I think I did these little things justice. Don't you think? Like this looks really cool. But yeah, I I'm I'm pretty I'm pretty happy with what I did today, and expect another video next week because I I kind of like taking some time away from my life. Um, and that's not right. I like taking time out of my day to sit down for a few hours at a time and just find something to hyperfixate on in this game because there's just so much that you can do. You There's just so many things that you can build, so many things that you should be building, and it's like you got farms, you got buildings, you got custom trees that you can make. Like it's it's amazing. I never really actually sit down and start building things these days. Because I just like I either didn't have enough time or my ADHD brain would not let me, right? But doing this series, I'm really hoping that people enjoy this series as much as I am making it, because this is I've as a player, I've already developed so much because I'm using a bunch of different techniques that I've never used as your typical Minecraft player. Like never used gradients, I've never used like different types of blocks to make something so simple, but it's so satisfying to walk up. And I would have never dreamt of myself making something like this. It's not the greatest, it's not spectacular, but for a first tree, this is crazy good. This is insanely good, and I am actually proud of that. And I'll ignore the house here. I'll ignore this uh, for the distant future, but still, I I am so excited for what I'm about to do next. And I think for the next thing that I want to do is over the next week, I'm going to farm these trees like crazy. And then I'm going to get enough resources to build the other 3 trees. Now, I will say to build this, it took about 6.5 stacks of logs. But a large portion of those is the end cap logs that don't have one of the end cap logs that don't have this showing, you know. So yeah, I'll definitely be farming this a little bit. I'll be making more of these. I want to also try and find a way to blend this super gray with this green, because I think bringing a little bit of greenery to a bunch of these gray block palettes, I think that's going to be really fun for me to do. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. It took a lot longer for me to get around to recording it, but because I am excited for the next things that I want to do on my list, expect another video soon. This has been incredibly fun. If you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe to see more content, and you'll be seeing me very, very soon. Bye bye.